I've got 30 minutes if you wanna spill your mind. Give me all your reasons to why I should take my time. Used to have forever, but you never cared that much.
Hey, happy homemakers and happy 2023. I know it's going to be about 2 weeks in before you guys see this, but I did want to let you guys know some of the goals I have this year, and I'm curious to know what goals you guys have. I'm actually super excited for 2023, and I know that's kind of a cliche thing, but for me personally, this is something new. I didn't used to be someone who picked a word for the year or anything like that, but last year I did have a word for the year. And I didn't really share it with anyone, but it was just something very personal to me, what I was going through as a wife and a mom, and just all the changes in my life. And I had a lot more changes in 2022. So I have been reflecting on all of the good last year and then what I did not like last year as well. So I hope you guys have been doing that. In just a few minutes, I'm going to be sharing my goals, and then I would love to hear from you guys what your goals are as well. You guys are seeing this messy house that just needs to be completely refreshed for the new year. I know I took down my Christmas decorations in my last video, and that was all I did. I didn't get to anything else, but I had so much going on. I have a lot of pain points in my house that I want to start working on this year, but just showing you guys a little bit of everything. Now, spoiler alert, I did not get this all done in one day, so we are going to be having a part 2 to this video. My house is basically just trashed, and after I finish giving everything a good tidy and clean up, then I also have a lot of deep cleaning I've been neglected, so that'll probably be the 3rd video that you guys see after this one. Well, 2 after this one. So let's go ahead and get started on cleaning up my house and refreshing it for the new year, and you guys can just enjoy watching or clean along with me, and let's do it together. Excess rice on top of the container, and then I went to go to the bathroom, and Kenzie started screaming, "Mommy, mommy!" And so I came running in there, and I'm like, "What is wrong with you?" She's like, "It's spilling everywhere." So all the rice was just tumbling out of the container. I guess the weight of it kind of shifted, and maybe I didn't have the sill completely done. So she and I had to get to cleaning up this rice, and she very happily wanted to help, so we just started sweeping it all out the best we could. I kept getting rice stuck to my foot for the rest of this morning until I finally swept the entire floor.
On my own, but I'm never
If you're new to my channel, just wanted to take a moment to say welcome. I'm so glad to have you here. My name is Christina, as you probably guessed. I've been married to my husband, Aaron, for 15 years. Together, we have 2 daughters, Lexa, who's 5, and Kenzie, who's 3. We were both originally from Louisiana, but in 2016, while I was pregnant with our first daughter, we moved to Michigan for my husband's job. And then in 2022, we were able to move for another job opportunity back down south, and we now live in Texas. So far, we are loving it here. We really miss the South. It was both deeply ingrained in us, and we are so happy to be back here and be raising our girls down south. On my channel, you'll find lots of cleaning motivation, homemaking motivation, and this year in 2023, I'm adding a lot of mindset motivation. I'm on just a whole mindset journey of just focusing on being more positive in my thoughts and all of that. And so I'm going to be taking you guys along with me on that journey. So if that sounds good to you, go ahead and click subscribe and make sure you turn on the notification bell so you're notified every single week when I upload new videos. Okay, so you guys can very obviously see that I'm talking on the phone here. And I was talking to my friend Kristen over at Homemaking Heaven, and I actually was telling her about some of my New Year's goals. And in the process of telling her about my goals, I told her, I said, what I want this year is to be happy in the journey. I have so many goals, but more important than meeting those goals is just to enjoy the journey this year. And I was like, oh, that was good. I really need to put that in my video, because she knew I was recording, and I was like, I'm going to put that in my video. But I really did want to share that with you guys, because that's something that's been marinating probably the last year, is just enjoying where I am. I have a lot of weight to lose. I have a lot of personal goals, a lot of improvements, a lot of business goals with my YouTube channel and what I want to turn it into and what I want to do, what I want to create it with. And it can get overwhelming. And I am a very forward thinking person. And I always say all the time, I don't want to be so future focused that I can't enjoy the moment, especially now that I'm a mom. That's hit me more than ever, is that kids grow up so fast, to be able to enjoy each new phase. And I've never been one of those moms that looks back on my baby's pictures and oh, they're so big now. They were so little. I want them to stay little forever. That is not me, because my kids were both really, really difficult newborns. I love the toddler stage though. And I've always loved toddlers. In general, I'm just that kind of person. And I just love how their little minds work. I've always been that way, even before becoming a mom. And so I always knew the toddler stage was probably going to be my favorite. And I was right about that. But I did want to just say that, sometimes when you have kids, ever since I had my girls, I focused on trying not to wish the days away, because when they were really little, it was so hard. And I still just try to focus on not wishing the days away. But I've always been really glad with each milestone they hit. And I do have some moms that kind of oh, cherish the moments. But it's hard to cherish the moments when you're getting 2 minutes of sleep over a week of time. You know what I'm saying? So just to be realistic and say, enjoy the moments while you can. But sometimes they're not fun. They're not fun days, weeks, hours. You have those sweet moments throughout the day. But I would never wish to be in the newborn stage forever. And I also really want my children to grow up, because the alternative is not good. We all, we say we don't want them to grow up, but we don't really mean that, right? So anyway, I get a little too rambly sometimes when I start talking about that subject. But basically this year, I want to enjoy every milestone with my kids. And I've been pretty good at focusing on that. And, when my husband tries to say, oh, she's 4.5, she's 5.5, she's 3.5, she's 2, I'm like, nope, she's 3. Don't say she's 3.5. Just let me enjoy her being 3. And then when she's 4, we'll let her be 4. So I'm always reeling him in with not wishing their, not that he does, but I'm I don't want to think about it until they're that age. And so anyway, my girls are actually going to be turning 4 and 6 this spring, but they're 3 and 5 right now. So just let them be 3 and 5. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I'm really enjoying this stage in life with them right now. But as far as setting goals for myself, I have always struggled with my weight, even before, most of us who struggle with our weight for our whole life, before you really had a weight problem, you thought you had a weight problem, right? So I have basically been concerned about my weight since I was 10 years old, and I'm 33, and I'm sick of it. Actually, I'm 34. Oh my goodness, you guys. I'm turning 35 this year in the summer, and I cannot quit saying that I am 33. I'm 34, and I'm almost 35. So yeah, I don't know where that year went, but I turned 35 this year, and you know what? I'm I am heading into my mid to late 30s. Let's don't say that, right? I shouldn't say it to myself either. I should just say mid 30s. And I just want to enjoy where I am. And, I have a lot, like I said, of weight to lose, but I want to enjoy the process of just getting healthier and not focus on the end result, because it can take a year, it can take 5 years. We always rush things. Weight loss is the easiest example, because most of us who've had weight to lose try to rush it. And it's 5 years ago, I was so desperate to lose the weight in a year. And now it's 5 years later, and I still have it. My weight has gone up and down. I lost a ton of weight in 2020, kept it off until our move at the beginning of 2022. And then I put on a bunch of weight, and I've not been able to get that weight off, but I've maintained there for the past year. So anyway, enough about my weight. The point that I'm making is just that I want to really enjoy my journey this year. I'm focusing on mindset this year. So my goal is to stay on track all year long and just see where that takes me. Not necessarily to hit a number, though I'd love for that to happen, but just to stick to something this year, which I've decided to do Weight Watchers. So to stick to that for the entire year and stick to my workout regimen. I've been doing really good with working out for the last several months, and I'm excited to just continue that this year. And then for a more personal goal in the sense of like mentality, just be for me to be a more patient mom and a more understanding patient spouse, wife, and not to be so easily irritated. Sometimes I can feel myself where I like snap at my husband or my kids and I'm like, it just really didn't call for that, you know? Like, I know that I shouldn't have been that upset or that frustrated in that moment, and I just felt like I couldn't help myself. So I have been focusing on positive mindset and speaking to the Lord a lot for help. And I've noticed now I can kind of feel like I've been doing it since last year, and I can feel that feeling of frustration rising up, and then I'm able to just tell myself, you're overreacting. And then I don't actually lash out my frustration. I'm able to just let it go. And that has been huge for me, because before it would just slip out and it was like I didn't even know it was coming. I would just be frustrated and I was like, oh, and then an instant like, you know, reaction to my husband when it's like, he doesn't deserve that. You know, I have a lot going on today that he has no clue about internally, right? Our thoughts. I did a couple of videos that were just talking head videos. You guys probably, most of you didn't watch it because you're just interested in the cleaning videos. And so I talked about a lot of that in those videos, but I'll definitely be sharing a lot more of that on my cleaning videos, because I definitely want to share that on my channel. And I think you guys are mostly here for the cleaning content. So anyway, I am starting on wiping off this countertop, and I'm just using my mixture of Dawn dish soap and water to get this all clean. There was a lot of crumbs and a lot of things that were hard to catch on camera, but it was very dirty.
There's another side of you trying to break through, able to tell the truth. No one else can see.
Y'all, I was putting those bananas back and I was like, I cannot believe how dusty this thing is. Like, oh my goodness.
Say how far you wanna go. Baby, I can tell it's just for show. Every line designed to let me know.
So I kept this thing alive for a while, and then we went on our trip out of town, and she's not doing so good. So I'm just gonna put a cube of ice and try to give her a little bit of sun today. If she's still looking bad tonight, I might put her actually outside, but it's actually about 50 degrees here today, so that might hurt her worse. But I'm trying to give her just a little sunshine at least. Maybe I'll put her out by the back door. I don't know. You guys, let me know if you've ever kept an orchid alive. This is my first time, and it's been, I want to say it's been like 2 or 3 months. I don't know. I have to go back and look, because I know I have footage when I first set her up on the counter. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and finish up in here.
Together you're afraid to hold my hand, trying to understand. What if this doesn't go as planned? So you don't know what it means to be loyal and kind. I know that you're not blind. Tell me what is really on your mind. You know you're already accepted. To me, you're all
As you can see, my stove needed some attention, but I ended up getting distracted by those snacks sitting on the countertop. They were for the girls' school, but Kinsey was seeing them and begging to eat them. And so I was like, I need to go ahead and get this portioned out. So they each have snack duty twice a semester. They just go to like a little preschool and kindergarten. So all the kids in the class take a turn bringing snacks, and it's like on a rotation or whatever. So Kinsey, every time she goes, has like a certain amount she has to bring based on the kids in her class, and the same for Lexa. And I usually do something a little healthier, but they were telling me how all the other kids' parents bring cookies, and so this time we did cookies. I also had some cheese and toast crackers that I had previously bought. So what I was doing was I had a giant pack for Lexa that was like way more than she was supposed to bring. So I had pulled out the extra cookies from hers and was adding them to the cracker packs so that I could then have the right amount for a couple of weeks later when it was going to be Kinsey's turn to bring the snacks.
Say you don't wanna be with me, but you miss me as soon as it's over. Your name lighting up the screen, but you never
So
call.
after I got all the big heavy crumbs off the stove, I'm just using that mixture of Dawn dish soap and water to clean off the stove. This is seriously my go-to favorite cleaner to use, and I probably should try the power wash. I know that would work better. You guys, if I ever get big enough and Dawn sees this, Dawn, sponsor me. To be honest, I use the off-brand a lot, and I really can tell a difference. This is one thing where if I'm going to be using a ton of it on just simple everyday things like countertops, I'll get the off-brand. But if I have a heavy-duty job, I definitely notice a difference using the actual name brand. But if you guys ever see me get sponsored by Dawn, you will know it is legit. I've been talking about them since way before I ever thought that was the thing. I think I just grew up with that being our primary cleaner, and it's just stuck with me. Oh, that is so nice. What do you have in that? What's in there? It's water. She's got water in her spray bottle, and she likes to help me clean. She said she did the toilet, hopefully not with the same dishcloth. Oh yeah, you don't need to necessarily do the floor. Kinsey, how about you do the cabinets? See these spots on the cabinets? See where somebody spilled some tea? That would be a great spot for you. That would be a big help to Mom. It's hard to get on camera, but there's a drip of tea going all the way down this cabinet. Awesome job. I took a break to eat lunch. Yeah, go ahead. And I just let the soap mixture soak on here, and she was going around cleaning all the cabinets while I was doing that. And so I said, "Do you want to help me with the stove?" And she said, "The stove? What?" And then she said, "Oh, the cooker place. You didn't know what the stove was called? Don't spray it in there." I feel like that's not good. Don't spray it inside of there. Just spray around. And I'll wait. All right, great job. You're such a good helper.
I'm getting stronger. You think that my bed's getting cold, but it's feeling warm. Your lies are getting old, but I'm getting stronger. I'm getting stronger. 'Cause I'm fine on my own. Away, I was speechless when we first met. Yeah, you took the pain away, didn't mind my scars, mend my broken heart.
So you can see my face here. That was my legit reaction. It was super cute when she first started helping me, and then about this point is when I started to get annoyed with it. And I was like, "Hey, you ready for a snack? How about a muffin?" I've been making, if you guys follow me on Instagram, I've been sharing some of the muffin recipes that I've been doing lately. There's only been like 3 of them, I think. But I've been trying to come up with a good snack that's a little bit healthier for my girls. All those crackers and cookies and stuff that you see me bringing to the school, I don't keep that kind of stuff in my house. Number one, because I don't want to eat it, but number two, I also don't want them to really get used to that being normal. I know a lot of people kind of let their kids eat how they want when they're kids because they're kids, and then, all they worry about when they're adults. But I feel that it is like important to develop your taste buds as you're younger, as a kid, and then you'll just naturally be like a more healthy adult without it being such like a hard, I don't know. I know my mom really focused on healthy eating in our house, and then a lot of us still just overate. So I don't know, but maybe it just depends on your personality if it helps or not. But I think a lot of people's taste buds are developed. So I really try to get my girls to eat a lot of vegetables and not that many processed little snacky things out of bags and containers. So anyway, long story long, I've been trying to make muffins because I've been kind of like at a loss as to what to feed them when they come home from school at 2:00 and they're hungry. And then I don't want to give them like junk. So I made these muffins. I've been making muffins, and I'm trying to make them a little bit healthy. Sometimes they're not like the healthiest thing, but they're still healthier than something packaged or pre-made, and they have been loving it. So I'm super excited. Lexa's also not big on eating breakfast, so you guys can see here the last couple of minutes she's been helping me. I took a break and got her from school, and now she's helping with the laundry. So anyway, she's not been big on eating breakfast, and so I wanted to give her another breakfast option as well. We usually do grits or oatmeal or some type of like lower sugar cereal, and this has been a great option for her as well. So I offer them muffins in the morning if they don't want the other breakfast options, and then I also offer them the muffins after school as a snack, so that it's hard for them to wait till dinner, but I don't want to feed them junk in between. So I've kind of just been struggling with that. And so far this is working. So I'm hoping if I make just a different type of muffin every single week, that it won't get old to them, and it can be something we can continue to do. So we'll see how long this lasts, but we're a couple of weeks in, and so far it's so good. Now you guys probably have noticed that I have this little thing tied around my waist. I'm in Texas, if you didn't know that. And it has been 50 and then 70 and then 80 and then 40 and 50 and then 70 and 80 and then 40. I think that's pretty common in the South. It seemed to be kind of common in Michigan as well during certain times of the year. So anyway, I had that on my waist so that when I was going back and forth and bringing her to school, I wouldn't like forget it and get outside and be cold and have to come back inside and get my sweater or whatever. Well, I'm so glad I did, you guys, because I saw a couple of spots in this video. You might have noticed it just happened right before I started talking about this, where you could actually see, but I walked around these pants all day long, and Aaron comes home from work and says, "You have a hole in the butt of those leggings." Oh my goodness, you guys. Can you say that I am so glad that I was wearing this all day? I went to the gym. I went to my girl's school. Well, I went to the school, went to the gym, went back to, to school again. And yeah, thankfully I was wearing this, except for those couple of clips where I had taken it off and I put it back on for whatever reason. I'm so grateful that I did, because I would have probably either lost this footage or had to re-edit it or just be like embarrassed. But yeah, it wasn't a huge spot, but it was enough that it would have been embarrassing for me to be walking around like that. Now, at the beginning of this day, I had underwear that matched my leggings, but after I showered and got ready for the day, I was wearing, a different pair of leggings, and my undergarments were like skin colored. And so, yeah, that would have been embarrassing. I avoided some embarrassment there. So I don't usually wear a sweater around my waist. So I don't know, maybe God was just looking out for me on this day, because it's not something I typically do. But when I was editing this video, I was like, oh, yep, there's a couple of spots where I wasn't wearing it. So you guys no need to go rewind and like look for it. But yeah, that could have been like a really embarrassing day for me, because again, I went like 4 different places and I was wearing these leggings all day long.
You came, now I see in color again. It could rain, I don't mind if it pours, 'cause I'm right next to you. Come rain or come shine, I don't mind, 'cause I'm right next to you. It's true, right next to you. Next to you. Next to you. feel this high. The sky has never felt this close, and when you kiss me, I can't believe that I am yours and you are mine. You took the pain away, didn't mind my scars and my broken heart. Life was dull until you came. Now I see in color again. It could rain, I don't mind if it pours, 'cause I'm right next to you, to you. Come rain or come shine, I don't mind, 'cause I'm right next to you. It's true, right next to you, to you, next to you, next to you, next to you. Who would have thought I'd be up on cloud nine? I would never take our love for granted. Love how you make me feel alive when you're with me. Took the pain away, didn't mind my scars and my broken heart. It could rain, I don't mind if it pours, 'cause I'm right next to you, to you. Come rain or come shine, I don't mind, 'cause I'm right next to you. It's true, right next to you, to you, next to you, next to you, next to you.
So another of my goals for 2023 is just to really get back to doing the one load of laundry a day and never having more than like 1 to 2 loads that need to be folded. I have gotten to where this has become such a stressor for me. It used to not really bother me, but now it does. So I am trying this year to really focus on figuring out what my pain points are. So if you haven't heard the term pain point, I don't know where I originally heard that, years and years ago. Basically, a pain point is just something in your life that really bothers you that just you need a solution for. At least that's my simple, really quick and easy explanation of it. But one of the big pain points for me is the laundry. And so I'm just really focusing on that. And then also a couple of other pain points in the house is this dresser top. I am so bad at like keeping this organized. And part of it is because the things that go on here do not have homes. So I need to make a home for my paperwork. I also need to make a home for a lot of my little filming supplies for my YouTube channel. I'm kind of slowly gathering more and more little odds and ends electronics here and there. And so I really want to kind of come up with some kind of organizational system for those. Now, let me just say really quickly, I knocked over these papers. This is Aaron. He's trying to learn the violin and he just started practicing. And I really contemplated not picking those papers up because I just didn't really feel like it, but I made myself pick those papers up. So I recorded it to make myself feel better about the fact that I was picking those papers up. And then also my kids' art supplies. This has been a big one. You guys saw me cleaning off the island and I put that basket on my bed. I don't get to it in this video, but I really need an organizational system for that. Now, I tried the whole art room upstairs. They don't want to be upstairs away from us. In our new house, we should be moving in the spring. We don't have like an upstairs. It's one story. And I'm super glad about that because the girls are never upstairs. We're never upstairs. They want to be close to us. And so the art room I made doesn't work, but they also like to draw and color on the floor or be on the island, like in the middle of the home where we are. So I know that they're probably going to always want to sit at the island and color and do arts and crafts because usually I'm in the kitchen or the living room doing things. So I'm not going to come up with another solution that is like me setting up an art room. I need a solution that can be mobile. So maybe it's a bin I put stuff in and I pack it away and then put it back. I would love for you guys to help me. I'm kind of at a loss, but it's been driving me crazy. I don't want to not let my kids do arts and crafts because it's just makes such a big hassle and like a mess in the house. So I want a quick and easy solution where I can let them do arts and crafts every day. Like every day, Lexa comes home from school and asks to do arts and craft, and I'm trying to embrace it and let her do that, but it's so hard for me. It stresses me out so bad to have paint and crayons and markers and everything everywhere. So if you have any tips for me, I really would love it. The only thing I've come up with was just like having a bin that I throw everything in and then put it away and like bring it back out again the next day. I don't know. I hope that you guys have something better for me, because I just need to sit down and like look at Pinterest or something. I don't know, because I know in the new house it's going to be the same thing. And so I'm trying to come up with solutions so that I can have like things in place. Whenever you move into a new space, I feel like it's easier to just tell your kids like, okay, this is what we do in the new house, you know? So I'm trying to come up with a lot of organizational like ideas and stuff that I implement in the new house. So give me your comments down below if you have any solutions. I would love, love, love to hear them. This has been a huge pain point for me this last year. So here I'm kind of just spot doing the floor. I did want to vacuum the rug, but then I was just quickly going over the floor with in random spots. I'm using my Dyson V7, which is a pretty old Dyson. I like it for the carpets and rugs, but I don't really care for it for any kind of hardwood or like tile floors or anything like that. I feel like it shines on carpet. It's not really that great for the floors, the hardwoods, in my opinion. So I use like a cheaper one that I have that's like gold and blue that I had sent to me for these typically, but on this day I had a lot of chunky stuff that I was feeling on my feet before I had put my tennis shoes on, and I just wanted to get most of that up. I was gonna come back and mop, but I didn't get to mop on this day, so I probably will mop later in the week. But yeah, I was just using the V7 here, and like I said, don't prefer it on the non-carpeted areas. In our new house, we will have tile throughout, and then the bedrooms will be carpet. So I'm probably going to be in the market for another vacuum. We shall see. Alright, I'm just going to put all this stuff in this basket and finish this tomorrow.
You will see me flying high. I'm staring into your blue eyes. We don't need nobody else. I got you, and you got me too.
Alright, so that is as good as it's getting for today. I have to start prepping dinner, and as soon as Aaron gets home, we're gonna be going to the gym. So I like to have dinner prepped so that I can just throw it on the stove when we get back from the gym, so we're not eating super late. So thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I hope that you got some cleaning motivation out of it, or whatever type of motivation that you need for your day. I'll be having to finish all of this up tomorrow, so stay tuned because that's probably gonna be a part 2 to this video, but I will catch y'all in the next one. Bye.